afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing propaganda cast. Me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Lost Glider, where the glider is truly lost. In the north, we got Arizona fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 355th Rifle Division. In the south, we got Bulat fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, holding the line here with the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division with assault support doctrine versus NKVD with infantry sniper here for Bulat versus infantry and grenade range bulletins with Molotov and anti-tank grenade. Got the MG4 two-start for Bulat, and for Azuna we got double conscripts sending out the infantry to valiantly resist the fascist invader. Sandbags being laid down here by Bulat's pioneers around the carve point to help sort of protect against some harassment there, at least make it easier to defend. Machine gun moving up, that looks like he might try and either push for the centre here or sort of screen off the area around there. Meanwhile, Zuna here is heading east and west with his conscripts, with his engineers, with his brave men-at-arms. Grenadiers they're setting out as well here for Bulat. Looks like they're going to be back up in the machine guns towards the centre. The pioneers will be moving westwards. So it looks like it's going to try and keep a cohesive force around the centre-west axis. In the east, Zuna there is focusing most of his into there. They've of course got the conscripts they're all ready to push westwards as well. 3rd conscript squad for Zuna and the 355th Rifle Division. More grenadiers there for Bulat and the 3rd Panzer Grenadiers. So far all quiet, no engagements, no shots fired. Machine gun hiding about in the church so far. Got through to try and push for his opponent's carve point, stuff the machine gun inside there. Would be a bit more aggressive and active, but we'll see here what Bulat ends up with versus Zuna. Got a bit of barbed wire here to make the sandbags unusable there by the opponent in most circumstances. And continues to grab territory. Gunnery's pushing for the carve point, not backed up by the machine gun, which will remain here it seems. Conscripts guarding the carve point there as a Bulat decides his grenadiers could, stand to be other places. Places where there aren't as many bullets and no cover. Southern victory point secured here. Grenadiers looks like they're looking up with the other grenadiers squad push eastwards, maybe for the fuel point, also areas around it. Pioneers continuing westwards, also been counting the conscript squads. Then we got more grenadiers there for Bulat, with some special command bullets there for Zuna, rather belated there. Begs the question here, what is Azuna planning? Scout car, snipers, spion troopers, or is he just going to try and use his rush ahead? All the way a bit of a curious sort of setup there. Not what you normally see from Soviet players, so that certainly stands out a bit. Conscript has grenadiers here, cannot take care of those nose and the guns. At max range, the grenadiers should have a reasonable chance there. In the south, conscript moving in. And further south here, we got the grenadiers heading out there for Bulat. Conscripts heading in, others heading in from the other side. Minor casualties there for Azuna, and we got Penal Troopers out here, so backing up his regular infantry with something a bit more elite with which to assail the fascists. Contra they're taking minor casualties, there we go, falling back down to half size and half health. More grenadiers there for Bulat, could consider maybe some more machine guns versus these heavy infantry builds, but he focuses on infantry himself. It will be interesting to see how this all works together with the doctrine there. He has chosen assault support, not one you see a lot of. It's a pretty decent one though, but obviously doesn't quite offer as many direct advantages. It does require some more management in some sense, like for example, want to go for the double blitz. You do have to mind it, like in case the territory it's covering, gets cut off. Some players who tend to struggle a bit with that. Gun is being slowly shot to bits. You need to retreat fast. Grenadiers there versus conscripts, and Grenadiers are being overwhelmed by Soviet infantry. We'll have to fall back soon here in the west here. Conscript being slowly surrounded by all the Grenadiers here from Bulat. Shot to pieces and bits. No take yet there for Bulat. Probably should be priority to be honest soon here versus Azuna. Moving ahead fast. And we got medics on the way for there for Azuna. We got the Penal Troopers sending about. They're backed up by the Flamethrower Engineers. And bunkers up there with tech of there happening for Bulat. Conscript being routed here by the Grenadier. MG42 standing about, and we got the pioneer screen territory here, bit of back and forth, and there we go. Zuna here. Looks like it's going to be swinging for the carve point, sneaking up behind Bulat's front line. Stops up here. I feel like this is a bit of an awkward move. I mean, I think it's just a bit off going straight for the carve point, maybe minding the sandbags there. Instead, he seems like taking a slightly more cautious move up north, conscript as good as it is. Bit of pushing them here and there, probing and such, but Neither side has really committed to any bigger attacks. They're sort of slightly skirting around the edges of the other's perimeter over their front lines, looking for the weak spots, and otherwise just trying to sort of get an idea of how their opponent sort of, is doing. So a bit of a dance here. We will going to take losses from the Penal Troopers SVT-40 semi-automatic rifles. Going there for the cuff point. Machine gun remaining in the church. I mean, it's just not really doing a lot there. This is usually not what I call a hugely amazing thing. I mean, yes, the Wehrmacht, you want the Wehrmacht to be, or the MD-42 to be actively supporting your troops rather than just hanging back and then doing, well, essentially nothing. So I do feel like their Bulat is wasting some opportunity there to put some more pressure on Zuna, but I think too passive in defensive play here. And of course, you can see that Zuna's taking advantage of it because, I mean, if he just avoids the machine in the center, I mean, it's just going to be not a problem. So it's a bit dangerous. And then meanwhile, Azuna now can call in the Commissar squad and proceed to do so. Commissar command squad. So these versus conscripts here. Conscripts setting out. There we go. Commissar around there from the northern edge. People are doing what they can there, but they're slowly being overwhelmed as Bulat is finally arriving more troops to counterattack. Like to make a nice company up there for Bulat. And the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. And there you go. Grenadiers versus conscripts. Slowly being shot to bits. Zuna keeps up pressure momentum, and there you go, machine gun active finally gets to shoot, having collected quite a bit of dust there inside the church. So we'll have to see what happens there next. Bit of pressure in the south. Like to make a nice company up. Could go for 2-2s. Half tracks of Panzer Grenadiers here versus Azuna and the Red Army. And these advancing their K-19 Ks, laying down some heavy fire here versus Zuna's conscripts, routing them swiftly. Comes a command squad at the ready there with the conscripts. Back here, Kunz was good to go. Zuna seems to be awaiting something. He's most likely, I think, try and charge that machine gun, launching an attack from several angles, and then either with the Molotovs, his flamethrowers there, flashing it out. So a nice attack here. Conscript in this case will act as the bait as the flamethrowers then pull in. Nice attack here, and certainly also sort of highlights there's a bit of weakness here with the machine gun position that Bulat had up. So there you go, machine gun routed. Oh, misclick as well. This is actually a really bad misclick. He ended up clicking on the wrong side of the church. Ooh, that's another reason you just do not put the machine in there, because again, in case of mistakes, it's pretty much on its own. So that's double whammy there for Bulat in just terms of not optimal machine gun play. A, just leaving it alone, and B, playing it passively while it's alone. So yeah, never mind in an exposed position like this where there are numerous blind spots the opponent can take advantage of. That's always something to keep in mind while setting up your MD-42s. Being mindful of blind spots, because if your opponent's clever, he's going to take advantage of them like he did there. So good play there by Zuna, punishing Bulat there for a tactical error of a not too negligible kind. But at least Bulat was taking advantage of Azuna's big push in the northwest, then actually hit the east and seized up territory there. He might want to consider laying down some S-miles to make it harder for Azuna to sort of pull back, and he's not taking up yet. Got mines down here, got the half take out. That is most likely going to be the flamethrower have to go out there for Bulat. No, some of the assault artillery field officer, the cargo truck here for Bulat, unfortunately. I was both, I would say, are pretty good parts of the assault support doctrine. The officer can boost him in quite nicely, calling smoke, even calling artillery, which is a really handy ability. And of course, the other blitz just gains you more resources. But we've got the M301 here on the way for Zuna. A very late choice of a scout code saver. Zuna, I mean, it's close to the 10-minute mark. Most players would have them out in the first, 3 to 4 minutes. But here we are with Zuna. It's actually closing in on 10 minutes, and he calls it in. Very interesting approach here. Certainly not something you see at all very often. But there you go. Flamethrower to for Bulat. That's going to burn through Zuna's infantry. He does have the anti-tank grenades up. Does have extra range, and the series could even pop up anti-tank rather than the penal troops. In fact, that's what he do. And it's slightly why he went for the scout cut, to use them as a mobile tank hunter group to quickly just go straight for the flamethrower and put it out of commission. In which case, I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense as a tactical approach there. Slightly expensive, of course, if it gets too close to, say, a squad of Panzerfaust, it's all going to go down the drain. But on the other hand, if it works out, it works out, at which point he has managed to completely disable his opponent's early game. And of course, with Radiance, of course, he knew what's happening all along, so like again, why I went for it like he did. There we go. Really strong move here by Azuna. Good read and good punish of Bulat again. Of course, this time it's obviously a bit hard to just get, be ready for that, and obviously that's part of it. certainly highlights, you know, always keep a few Grenadiers nearby with a Panzerfaust ready, just in case. But anyway, nicely played there by Azuna. Nice, I would say, out of the box solution there. Since most players would again not go for a scout card this late into the game, just to specifically counter the flamethrower tech with, say, anti-tank penal troopers. But that is exactly what the Azuna did, and it worked out really well. I mean, Bulat's flamethrower tech, which was a reasonably expensive, you know, investment, just went straight down. 90 munitions gone alongside 200 manpower and 30 fuel, just doing nothing compared against the scout car, which is notably less expensive. And the penal trooper mini already had there, and you know, adding the upgrades, and even then nearly as expensive does give us more utility down the road. So just really great here. Bulat and the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division in a pretty big pickle. Following up here with a sniper to that way, try and bleed out the rations. More people there for Azuna. He's going for a pretty heavy infantry build. Bulat there, I think, realising that the sniper right now is not going to be particularly helpful. Panzergrenadiers, I think, would work better. Or, I don't know, trying to take out fast. Then again, Azuna might just, you know, hit him with something else. That could easily punish Bulat here, so he has to be mindful. But at least he does have the Pak 40 up machine gun up in the Grenadiers, suppressing them by the tree. In the south, Grenadiers with a light machine gun, adding some firepower there to Bulat's forces. This is very good. Instead, he goes for a 5th Grenadier squad. Again, this is where I personally would suggest Panzer Grenadiers. They are, I think, a somewhat overlooked infantry unit by a lot of players, but I do feel like Panzer Grenadiers can do some very heavy lifting under the right circumstances. And he's still got the scout card there, going straight for the Grenadiers, right them again. Flame for a scout card combo, very potent, very solid. Got the comms squad here, and there you go, quick grenade, and the Grenadiers, and well, he might end up needing that 5th Grenadier squad at the rate things are developing here. And also boosting the conscript to fight more valiantly behind the sandbags. Already close to 2 in the comms. The command squad, really good, denying Bulat fuel, really good as well. Bulat is just not having the time of his life here in the early game. Oh, well, early to mid. This is looking pretty grim, actually. I mean, his opponent's pretty much got the cuff point under lockdown, and he's just attacking into it. His force composition is also, I would say, a bit limited. He doesn't have the offset, which could at least use to lay down the smoke. So he's going for the mortar, though. That can help a bunch, definitely. But beyond that, though, he remains in a pretty awkward spot here, and Azuna is now in a good position to just basically try and rush ahead there for armor. He should lay down mines here to make it hard, of course, for Bulat to bounce back, because at some point he's going to successfully, you know, wear down the defenders. But until that happens, I mean, you know, he might as well just try and make it harder to actually, you know, slow down the breakthrough once it happens. But there you go, mortar out here for Bulat for the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division. Bombarding here, he could just smoke down. That's much faster in most circumstances. Of course, it doesn't do damage, but most likely your opponent's not going to allow you to take out the machine gun anyway with a mortar. So just smoking is going to get the job done anyways, and of course much faster. And in doing an attack, speed tends to be a very critical element. So there you go, almost got the machine gun, but the Grenadiers were routed, so he again has to move out once more. Meanwhile, Azuna is taking up there, got the tank command up, and likely can follow up with a mechanized armor company and just begin rolling out those T-34s. Theoretically, you can even try and rush out a KV-8 here versus Bulat. Bulat, in the meanwhile, might want to consider double blitz once he got the fuel connected again to just ensure he quickly gets more fuel so he can take ahead. Because right now, Bulat is going to be a bit behind in terms of overall tempo there, thanks to the aggressive cut-off pin there by Azuna. Troops reinforcing there. Heading westwards here with a big push. We got the scout car backing up conscripts and penal troopers there. Veteran C2 officer or command squad there. You can see that Bulat is switching out as aggressively as possible, you know, splitting up, trying to just gain as much ground as possible, of course going for the higher priority target, which is the opponent's fuel. So of course, you ensure that Zuna does not get too far ahead. We also got some take up happening. Very good. Sehr good. Still, 5 Grenadiers is a rather hefty commitment of infantry. It could result in attrition there if Bulat is not careful. Then as they're being rushed, trying to get that fuel point, and wait, where's? Oh, there was the comms. I was like wondering where the devil was he. For some reason, apparently my brain read there's another squad from the command comes the squad for some reason. That is a bit of a awkward moment there, but those things happen. So it's just one there. Pioneers versus the conscripts. Sadly, not enough firepower. Take up done. In the west, Grenadiers on watch. Warlock machine could be, I think, really good here for Warlock. They're certainly, I think, one of his best chances now, sort of finding the conscripts reasonably well. That or Panzer Grenadiers, obviously, but with 5 Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, I think, would be rather overcommitting into infantry beyond what he already has there. Take up, not quite happening there yet, but we got Azuna pushing straight for the Mechanized Armor Company. He'll be able to go for T-34 more or less almost as soon as it is done. There's also the option of the KV-8 flamethrower tank. Command, or comes the command squad they're moving about. And back here we got the Sapoma Corp as well. Up for Bulat. Mortar fire raining down. Grenadiers healing and reinforcing. Grenadiers moving up, engaging the penal battalion here. We got the scout car hanging back. There we go. Obergefreiter Ludwig coming up in the common squad there with his light machine gun. Head 40, I think, trying to creep ahead here to get the scout car there. And with the addition of more light machine guns, Bulat at least successful out of the southern market square. Sapoma Corps up. You can actually get away with a reasonably fast Panzer IV. Well, reasonably fast. Recently timed at this stage, I think would be more appropriate choice of words. As far as Zuna, I think he's going for the KV-8 flamethrower tank here. I mean, he's been going for the T-34-6 already. So he might be underestimating just how close Bulat is actually in terms of technicals. He goes to the KV-8 and then Bulat has a Panzer IV. And as Bulat throws away that Panzer IV majestically, that KV-8 is going to find itself having a bit of a rougher time than he was hoped for. The MG42 has been really great for Azuna because in part, and of course this is important, Azuna has been using it actually to back up his moves compared to, again, Bulat just stuffed inside the church and did nothing with it. I mean, this is the key element to really good machine gun usage. You don't just stuff them in a building, forget about them, you use them actually support your troops. That is really important for the Wehrmacht because they have lower squad numbers, so they're very much more reliant on the machine gun to sort of back them up. Comes the squad, they're being slowly wiped out. Not really a good position to have infantry in, by the way. Pioneers as the flamethrower engineers. Almost got the scout car there. He's going to try and flank in, but I think there's Zuna's aware of the dangers of that and actually just decides to pull ahead before anyone appears with a Panzerfaust and an invoice. And for some good old distraction. Close to the Panzer IV, there we go, on the way. And we do see Azuna here going for the KV-8. I mean, nice and ambitious in some ways, but in this case, a bit too ambitious. I mean, had he been a bit faster about this, he probably could have gotten that to work, but around the 80-minute mark, considering he's not been able to control the fuel that well against Bulat, a Panzer IV is definitely a possibility. So, I mean, while the KV can certainly soak up a lot of damage, he can't really stop the Panzer IV. In that regard, Azuna is otherwise rather defenseless against the Panzer IV. So, again, unless Bulat majestically throws away the KV-8 in a way that no man truly should, Panzer IV, no way man should throw away the tank, I mean, Azuna might find that KV-8 not quite gaining as much traction as well. There we go, he sort of gets the radio intercept there as soon as he gets the KV tank out. Alright, comrades, we're gonna burn those fascists, nothing will stop us. Captain, they got a tank. Oh, sucker, bliad. Not again. There we go, KV standing on back, and these are being shot and pushed back here by the Strafniki. Bit of skirmishing here, going to these versus the conscripts. Popping into the house here, need to be careful with the Molotov, but I mean, lots of light machine fighters will be a pretty bad idea there for the conscripts, also hitting the field point here. He's going to, there we go, encounter the KV-8 and be aware there is not a KV-8 flamethrower taking out in the field. Bulat could consider backing up the Stug with, oh, Panzer IV with the Stug. Got a bit of the order around there wrong. Since the Stug has a good penetration and rate of fire that way can take on the KV-8 heavy tank. Gunner's being routed in the face of the conscripts. Cover remaining solid in the face of the Panzer IV. Well, it remains solid. Bulat committing to a second pack 40. There's either he's not intending a Stug or he figures he's, wants to increase his chances of, knocking out that KV-8 before it becomes an actual issue. Not entirely sure what exactly is Bulat's thinking there, but I'll wait the Pack 40 out. There's also the additional option he might be thinking get away with stalling for the Tiger tank now, since he's got a Panzer IV double packs, and double packs tend to be a signal in a lot of cases that you're stalling for something, you know, big like a Tiger tank, and it does have it there, so double pack could very be an indication of that. We'll of course have to see if Zuna reads that one and what he then does in response to it. Oh, excellent hit there. Negative cover, of course, makes it easier to be hit for the. So that's certainly something to be mindful of there. In this case, really helped the Panzer IV just kill as many people as they could in one shot. Up north, he can is holding up. They had some, well, shrubberies and assorted wood. Slowly being overwhelmed by the gunners from the light machine backing up. We got the Panzer IV on the move. No pin-em-up machine being added to the Panzer IV. Could have benefit from that. Some players I feel like tend to underestimate the utility of tank machine guns, and they can actually do some good damage themselves. KV-8 continues its hunt for fascists to burn. Also noting it's got anti-tank Overwatch already, which probably got nerfed with the hotfix there, so it's not quite as violently aggressive. Of course, still effective. KV-8 rolling back. Hitting points here, hitting points there. Panzer IV almost good to go there for Bulat, and the third Panzer Grenadiers receiving its armor from nearby Panzer Division. You can see that Zuna is back taking. For the supporting company, most likely to get out field guns, since, well, he's not beginning out to tank anytime soon. They need something to put more, an actual threat to the Panzer IV. Since the KV-8 and a few anti-tank rifles is definitely not going to cut it. So, a field gun is certainly, I think, a really good option here. Noting the Scout Car is not seeing too much here for Zuna, and is routed. Comes a command squad with 4 kills, but on the ace level. Backed up with the KV-8 is a bit too much for the Grenadiers, and they break. Looks like he's planning something. Noting the west side is a bit open, nothing really happening. I got the Panther moving up, gauging the comms and command squad missing. Pin-up machine being added. Got the Grenadiers sneaking up, got the Pack 40 following up as well here. KV-8 on the move, and we got a second Panther for Bulat. So he's not just stalling for the Tiger tank, or is he? I mean, if he is stalling for the Tiger tank, he would benefit a lot from the fuel truck, Nova Blitz, to secure more fuel. Since that way he can faster get to the 230 fuel needed, but seems like he might actually still be going for it. I mean, he clearly considered the Panther IV there, but decided, you know what, I want ein Tiger tank, ein Tiger. Oh, Panther IV shoots, misses the Scout Car there, now filled with the Kamasa command squad. Quickly, take me to the front lines, army. Direct with luxury. Luxury, it's a Scout Car. It beats walking. Mines up there for Zuna, very good. Covering the calf point, it's an area around there. KV-8's going to need some repairs. We see that Zuna's already directing engineers to do it, and there we go. Bulat sees an opportunity and is in the Pack 40 and the Panther IV here. Engaging, there we go. Nice hit on the Strafniki. There we go. Routing them once more with heroic firepower. There you go. Pin-up some at it. Going for the KV-8. KV-8 though has been fixed up. Panther IV to take up. Now has set his sight on other prey. On the People's Election, manned up there by Comfort. There you go. A bit of a merge that happened, but in this case, a bit of death also happened. For White Panther IV hits. I was about to hit the mine right next to the Pack 40s. Could actually end up losing the Pack 40s here to Zuna, which would be disastrous. Comes moving up. There we go. Cleared out the Pack 40 set charge, and the other one. Oh, mine goes off. Oh, Scheiße! Almost got the Pack 40. I think Panther IV took some damage. Got the command squad in the Scout Car, rolling forwards, charging ahead here. KV-8's going to clear out the other Pack 40. Got the Scout Car. That was not, I think, a very great assault here for Bulat. Ended up suffering catastrophic casualty, and handing over both Pack 40 to his opponent is not good. We get air support called in there by Bulat, so these sort of cover up the area, maybe give him time to retreat, or who knows, maybe try and destroy those Pack 40 to deny them to the enemy, because if Azuna grabs both of those Pack 40s and total whatever he's got, that Tiger tank is not going to go anywhere fast except straight to the graveyard. There we go, Pack 40 crewed up, and we got Tank Overwatch called in here by Azuna now against Blood. So yes, again, there you go, still raining down. Panther IV is barely upruled. Pack 40 cleared out, coming doing what they can here, being suppressed though by the machine gun. Quick airstrike around there from the Luftwaffe. Pack 40's just standing about there. Oh, he destroys them. Azuna does not even want at least an additional anti-tank gun, it seems. And again, he could just destroy that one, grab the other one, but I mean, 200 tank which would be pretty good here for Azuna. I mean, at this stage, he should be aware his opponent's going for assault support. Also, that resource-wise, he's actually now sagging behind, and his opponent could be calling in a Tiger tank, but seems like Azuna just doesn't care. My men shall not use fascist equipment, but what about the machine gun, comrade? Shut up, it's clearly Russian-made. It says made in Leipzig. Shut up, Petrov. I'll have you inspect the backside of my fist. Tiger tank on the way there for Bulat. Quick strike here by Azuna, going to use that overwhelm, but almost managed to really take advantage of it. I think the O-focus here, you know, big priority targets, but then still was able to manage like controlling all elements, and actually that way sees away a lot of territory from Azuna's actually really great there with Bulat. So even ended up losing double pack 40s, I mean, allowing him to gain more resources and then push for a Tiger faster is pretty solid. There you go. Tiger tank out for Bulat, backing up the 3rd Panzerdivision, sending from the 506th Schwerabteilung, since Tiger tanks were generally organised into heavy tank battalions, so there were exceptions like the radio control battalion for Stooks or Borgward 4 of Stooks, but the Goliaths and Borgward 4Bs. Stooks, though, could also be used in those control battalions of radio control. Little fun fact there. I'll wait, Tiger moving about. KB on the move again. Azuna's definitely going to need an SU-5 tank to try to have the best chance here as the Tiger tank. He might be regretting not nabbing those pack 40s, since in particular also just having the Tiger weak point ready versus the Tiger would have been pretty strong there for Azuna. Tiger tank strikes the center, engaging the rations without mercy. 2 kills, and meanwhile the Kirit is burning for the fascists in the southeast, rounding up Bulat's lines and ripping them apart. Got the Panther moving in here. HU5 is on the way for Azuna. Very good, very good. It's going to give Bulat's tank a bit of a rougher time. Panther Kirit gets a pension hit, got Vetchny 2 and Schutzen added. Tiger moving forward here. Possibly strange to mine in front of the field gun. That'd be bad news there for Bulat. Nah, never mind. Actually looks like he's right where there you go. Spotted, shoots, hits the masonry instead of the bloody mines. Keeps hitting the masonry. I mean, at some point I'm sure he's going to hit once it's blasted through enough of it. Heinz, yeah, couldn't we just move the tank like a few centimeters instead of, you know, firing several shells into a bloody wall of bricks? That seems just wasteful. Comes like a mount cutting blast. We got the scout cam or K moving in. They're going to be punished with the light machine gun picked up from the dead Grenadier squad. Grenadier is routed, taking heavy damage here. Should farm is done here for Azuna and the 355th Rifle Division. Got the Tiger tank moving about. Comes out in the open, easy target over the Tiger tank. And the Panther for that match, but there you go. HU5 to the rescue. Shoots his 85mm armor piercing round of the Panther 4 and successfully penetrates. Misses the Tiger tank on the other hand, which is a bit surprising considering the Tiger is a bigger target. Sergei, how could you miss that? That thing's bigger than your mother. Stop making fun of my mother. Field standing about here. Back here, troops in reinforcing, either setting out there for Azuna. You should be putting more pressure on the left side. I mean, it feels like in some ways Azuna's gotten rather defensive versus Bulat, a bit like how Bulat was very defensive in the early game, meaning the other players, I think, much better options actually pushing ahead. And the thing is, I mean, Azuna actually has a larger force than Bulat, so it's a bit weird in that sense. He's not exerting, you know, his initiative better. Bulat can, of course, follow up with more Panther Force to back up the Tiger tank. Could also go for Stooks to back up versus the armor more specifically. Push for the center in the Tiger tank obviously is not going to end up well there for Azuna's engineers. Multiplying support as well. We also got a fragmentation bomb ready there to completely demolish any poor bastard there. Guns moving up here, could spread out a bit more, maybe head for the fuel point as well. And got Tiger tank going to fire from the field gun. This is 3 shoots and pierces the Tiger's armor. KV H5 going to move into it, flanking through the cemetery. They could have tried and go for deeper flank down the target tank, but oh well. KV at least is leading the way, and there goes shots fired, bouncing off the target tanks. 100mm of thick German armor. KV-8 though bounces off a shell there from the target tank, and there you go. Panzer IV misses as well. Really seems like no one ended up barely doing any damage. Instead, the Panzer IV finally took all of the damage almost. Panzer going to deal with the Bulat. Nice choice there. Panzer going to use, I think, our good infantry. H5 falling back here. Theoretically, we could sort of pull off a good sneaky, creep up there. Could maybe call in a fragmentation bomb and just completely demolish the spot rooms there. Should keep momentum here though, losing the southern victory point. Well, he's gained the other one. He's down to 100 points, so Zuna definitely needs to broaden his horizons and begin to play the rest of the map more rather than just focusing one small bit. And fragmentation bombing run, I think, calling the maximum here. MG42 that is. Too late, and a full wipe there, annihilating Azuna's machine gun. That is a nice little kill there for Bulat, removing a rather big obstacle for his infantry. 8 kills of the target tank. Constantly need to be very careful up close. Target tank's main gun, machine gun, are suddenly going to be quite hazardous here to their continued welfare. There you go. Almost got the entire unit obliterated with a might of the Tiger. In the center, is creeping up here. Azuna's trying to catch up with the HD5, and we got the T-5476 to help deal with the infantry and maybe also some support versus the armor. But right now, Bulat is in some ways playing a bit of a risky game, but on the other hand, as long as he does extend his tanks, he can to an extent pull it off. But again, it is risky. One wrong move and he's going to have the tanks isolated and destroyed in detail. But on the other hand, if it works out well, he can sort of pressure Zuna's front line much more actively, keeping basically Zuna penned in. Good use of the house thereby makes it harder to just catch up with field guns and Initiative 5 there. You can just easily fall back using it as well. Nice tactical handling there with the Panzer IV. Good read of the terrain. Field gun is veteran 2. If you can get it to veteran 3 on the ace level, that'd be amazing there for Bulat, since it has a much higher rate of fire then and excellent penetration, making it very dangerous. Even for the Tiger. Bulat with another Panzer IV here. Almost got another anti-tank watch ready there for Zuna. We got the T-54 mobilized. Bit of shooting, a bit of burning here around the center. Got the Panzer Grenadiers being pushed back. In this case, upgraded to Panzerjägers. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, he's already got the Tiger tank and a bunch of Panzer IVs. I mean, he should be reasonably well insured enough, but against armor, then you could argue that he is so as well versus infantry. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. I mean, they can still do a lot of damage. Of course, that might be what he's banking on. As for Zuna, he needs to somehow catch the tanks in a good spot and then, hit them with anti-tank Overwatch. Of course, he needs to make it as hard as possible for them to escape. Otherwise, unless Bulat is just really silly, he's just going to pull back the tanks and get them out of the zone. So it's going to come down to how he times the anti-tank Overwatch. In which case, he's going to have a good chance of some serious damage there to Bulat's armor, his panzers. Tigers, Panzer IV setting out here. Looks like we've got a large assault going on here. Nice work. Panzer IV setting out to flank. Very good work here. H5 is far removed. Going to be needing him there. We got the anti-tank watch in here from Zuna and the 355th Rifle Division to try and break up Bulat's armored assault. T-4 pursuing the Panzerjägers. Tiger falling back. Panzer IV dodging a few shots here as well. And there you go, direct hit on the Panzer IV. Oh, wiped the pioneers. They were too close. He thought he was safe. He wasn't. H5 goes for it. Misses. Damn. And the Tiger tank's technically still within range, but because it's not seeable, can't hit. There you go. Gets spotted. Gets hit. H5 getting flanked here. Need to be careful there. Trying to get the Panzer IV as well. They're splitting up his attention. Direct hit on the Tiger tank from the artillery. H5 gets good as well. We've got the field gun opening up. Tiger tank to half health. T-4 does not go to finish off the Panzer IV now. He can't quite decide here. It's utter mess. And Zuna just fails to destroy anything, allowing Bulat to get ours. The way I think was a few missed moves there. I mean, he got the Pioneers, but didn't get any of the tanks. He didn't get the Tiger tank, which I think had he prioritized, maybe just rammed it with the T-54. He could have destroyed the Tiger tank, putting it completely out of commission, leaving Bulat in a very bad spot. But he couldn't quite decide that he got to agree, tried to take out both at the same time, and I think failed thusly to get any of them. So that was not a good move there. Oh, holy smokes! That is bad luck there for Bulat. Admittedly, they were a bit bunched up, but still just one shot and a full wipe on the Panzerjägers before they did anything serious. That is huge for Zuna. Doesn't quite compensate for the failure to destroy either the Panzer IV or the Tiger tank, but it's a nice consolation prize. The participation award of the Eastern Front. Just getting a whopping infantry corps when you actually tried to get the tanks. Caveat they're handing in armor moving up from the south here. Grenadiers running straight for the minefield and getting burned and shot at as well. I think Azuna probably wants to consider having another HV5 to help deal with the tanks, particularly the Tiger tank. It would certainly find itself in a much more comfortable position with two tanks rows about. Could also maybe help with the Panzer IVs, and there's pulls off a really strong flank. Still, Zuna needs to put more pressure on the west side. I think it would be a really strong move. The company, the Kamsa command squad standing about there, looking rather nice and cool looking there, waving about his pistol. Look at me, I am an action hero. You're an idiot, Boris. People are dying. Exactly. Best time to look cool. Heading northwards, fixing up the HV5. Another HV5 on the way there for Azuna. Moving up the T-55, getting the Grenadiers and slightly routing them. Another HV5 out here for Azuna. Grenadiers being blasted here with the T-34 from the 6. Getting some nice hits. Strafnik and got the Kaven moving in as well. Here in the centre we get a bit of a creeping up move there by Azuna. Bulat. Grenadiers creeping up there. Still firing down the church, trying to silence the occupants within. So now we got double HV5s out here for Azuna. They probably should be staying a bit closer to each other so that way and quickly get them to focus down any tank, in particular the Tiger tank. If they're too far away from each other, they're not going to be able to quickly just concentrate fire, which is really what Azuna should want to do against both the Tiger and the Panzer Force. Just concentrate on them and knock those bastards out of the war. The Kamsa squad needs to retreat, by the way, before that gets obliterated. HV lands a nice hit on the Panzer IV here. And yeah, he's splitting up the HV5, so again in theory allows you to just defend against more possible armoured attacks, but it also means he's not going to be able to quickly destroy any of the tanks, which I think should be his priority. And there you go. Also means if one tank destroyer does get flanked, it's going to get very uncomfortable there for Zuna. Goes for Panzer Grenadiers again. Most likely it's going to be Panzerjägers again. Looks like he's clearing out fields of fire here, making it harder there for Bulat to make use of any blind spots. There you go. Tiger tank hits Alpha Run, using the church to quickly hit up there behind Azuna's flank and hit a nice hit up there, but still HV5 responds. Other remains there. Need to get the K to deal with the gunners before the field gun gets cleared out again, and well, too late, too late. Company command sort conscripts in the reinforcement here for the 355th Rifle Division. Panzer being fixed up. Close to the east level air gauge, finally gaining the tank, Tiger tank head on, gaining veteran 2, very good, gains increased penetration accuracy. And there you go, Panzer IV strikes up, PH5 remains fire removed. There you go, looks like he's realising he needs to concentrate his anti-tank fire to that way break out the fascist armoured assaults. So, oh no, he's playing it pretty high stakes game there. I mean, it can work out, but at the same time there's no possibilities just H5 gets swarmed and taken out, but just outmaneuvered and taken out. Our way the theme is the H5 gets taken out if something goes wrong. Horribly wrong. Doesn't have to be that, of course. Got a lot of interest to move ahead, needs to push out for the glorious motherland. Back here Bulat is on the watch, and there you go, H5 spotting up the tank. The Ace Panzer IV. Strafnicki gaining veteran against the Grenadiers out in the open. Panzer IV slowly pursuing. There we go. Big infantry push here. Really heavy infantry push. More or less clustered out there. a good target for a fragmentation bombing run. If at any point fails to pay attention to it, that could really leave Azuna San. There you go. Target tank moves up, shoots the KV, gets a good hit. Push for the center here, straight into the Grenadiers waiting with a light machine gun. We got support called in to further break up Azuna's infantry assault. Very good call in there, I think, by Bulat. Much better idea than trying to hit them with a fragmentation bombing run, to be honest. Target tank trying to support, but almost hits the bloody Grenadiers. Saracens are over there. There you go. Company command squad, command squad moving ahead there. Got the E5 got the K-8 moving in. Trying to take out the Sis-3 field here with the Panzerjägers, but he caught him with the K-8 instead. Still remains very scared of the J5 again, making their deal and just focus fire on the Tiger tank. Down to 76 here versus Bulat's 266. Konsk is being annihilated by the Tiger tank. They're pinned down and they're easy targets. It's like target practice. And go veterans one getting the issue 5, the other one just hang back there. T-4 almost good to go. Troops reinforcing healing. Need to again push more westwards, more aggressively. And we got here Bulat with a sizable infantry force. Grenadiers loaded with light machine guns. Panzer shake drop. They could maybe be a bit helpful there for Azuna versus Bulat. Bulat, I think, should try and pull off some good flanks here versus Azuna. I'm particularly trying to catch those H5s off guard. I mean, he realizes what Azuna's doing. You should probably just try and aim to just swarm one of the tank destroyers, quickly take it out, and then go for the other one, because likely Azuna would not be able to react in time. Going for the center point here, but also needs to go for the southern one. We got the T-4 which can clear out the Grenadiers on his own, then grab the point, and there you go, almost take them out. Heading westwards as well, very good. Grenadiers almost taken out. We've got the Ace coming for the T-34 here. Panther, they're close to veterans 1. Down to 55 here for Azuna versus Bulat 266. Got the East moving to back up here against the Ace Panzer IV. Got the Panzerjägers moving up though. No infantry support here in the east. Not good there for Azuna. And so is a bit of an unfortunate move there by Azuna. I mean, he's got plenty of tanks, got plenty of infantry, but they're not really working together. It's like they're sort of each, fighting their own battle. Like there's some sort of American action here around, troops and infantry. Comes to command squad, also taking out here with the Tiger tank. 30 kills, veteran 2, very good. Got the H5 field gun here, but the other H5 is still lacking in action. K-bit moving in. There we go, direct hit from the Tiger tank. Field gun that gets a good hit in return, but like the whispering, doesn't get wiped with the Grenadiers for once. And the south here sweeping attack here, but straight into the waiting line of fire of the Panzer IV. My God, these Russians are making it quite easy as well, say Helmut. Yeah, quite easy. And go blasting them apart there. H5 going for the Tiger tank. He's almost got it. Somewhat of a high risk move, but there you go. Tiger tank. Oh, needs one more shot there. Still Ace H5 is really great here for Azuna. There we go. Got the Tiger tank. Was going to get Panzer fasted. Field gun moving out. Flank's going to be exposed. He's going to move up his tank to try another armor to back it up. It's going to be too late there. It's going to be too late. The Panther will be able to take out the Ace tanks to a crew here after Azuna managed to get that far. He's also occupied with the Panther on the south here. He's basically extended, trying to do too much here. Field gun crew down. T-4 going to flank the Panther 4. H5 seems to bounce the shot, though that's pretty lucky. And the Ace somehow survives that. Bulat is pretty close to the Tiger tank, number 2. Got the T-4 there, really close, but doesn't see the Panzer IV, so misses the shot here. A chance at it, destroys the field gun just tonight to Azuna. Or to Bulat, and there you go. Bulat finishes off the job here, taking out the Ace tank destroyer, leaving Azuna in a very uncomfortable position. He has got one tank destroyer, one tank and a bit of infantry. Compared to Bulat, has a lot of armor. And he's going to be getting more. He's going to be getting another Tiger tank. That's going to be very bad news for Azuna. Chicotin's still down to 48 points. I mean, this command squad is still alive, which is quite impressive. He's made reasonable use of it. I don't think he's been using the ability as much as he could have. And far up north, the Grenadiers about to be assailed here by the T-34-76, going in for the kill here. And routing the entire lot. Tank destroyer there, very low on health. One encounter with a tank and it's like, go up in flames. Bullard here very close to the Tiger tank. The Tiger. There we go, got the Tiger there, Gefechtsbereit for the fatherland. Council falling back, got boosted there by the Commissar, very good, though timing seems a bit awkward for it. Always second Tiger out here for Bullard. And the third Panzer Grenadiers. Here for the fun getting the Grenadiers out in the open. We'll probably get away with moving up the mortars to grab that point here. I mean, the more pressure we now put in terms of victory points on Azuna, the better. Got the East Panther getting shot bouncing. Tiger tank following up. Other Panther moving in. We got a nice big armoured thrust by Bullard to finish off the job here. Almost got the T-54. We got the H-5 nearby. Panther takes a hit. There we go. T-54 down. Leaving Azuna just with a bit of infantry and a heavily damaged tank destroyer. And with this, Azuna surrenders. His will broken. He sees no hope. Game over here. Nasty fight on Lost Glider. And a Merry Christmas to all of you, by the way. May you have a nice, pleasant Christmas with some nice presents. And of course, maybe leave a few donations. Links in the video description there. Or pledge on Patreon. That'll certainly make my Christmas. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some fun. Hope you learned some things. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. I hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.